You think you can get away? From the first day you smiled at me. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, every last glance was meant to be mine. And you want to run now? A little late for that, don't you think? You're saying I'm blackmailing you with that photo? How cute. I also have a video of your eyelashes fluttering while you sleep, a burst shot of your throat when you swallow your coffee at breakfast, and the glint of a knife suddenly appears, pressed against her own heart. Do you know why I always come to you when it's raining? Because the sound of the storm covers the rattle of chains, and the water washes away the marks of struggle. But most importantly, a soft, chilling laugh. Once you're soaked to the bone, you can't fly away anymore, can you? Liam Miller had just grabbed some late-night ramen from the 7-Eleven and was heading home to grind on his game when he found his path blocked by a girl in pink silk pajamas at the entrance to his apartment complex. Liam, I knew you'd show up eventually. The girl's voice was syrupy sweet, but with a dangerous edge. Liam took a closer look and nearly dropped his cup of noodles. Of all people, it was Isabel Vance, the undisputed queen of the neighboring department. The girl every guy on campus worshipped as a goddess, and the one person Liam actively avoided like the plague. Isabel? It's late, what are you? Call me Izzy, she purred, rising on her tiptoes to get closer to his face. I've been waiting out here for you for 3 hours. What do you think I should do about that? Liam took a step back, his guard immediately up. Why were you waiting for me? We barely know each other. Don't know each other? Isabel's eyes widened, her expression instantly shifting to one of profound hurt. But we've been in the same classes since elementary school. Did you forget? That was 10 years ago. Besides, a shiver went down Liam's spine as he recalled a few traumatic memories from their shared childhood. Besides what? Isabel tilted her head, her smile never faltering, but Liam could swear he saw a dangerous glint in her eyes. Nothing. I'm going home. Liam tried to sidle past her. Nope, she said, cheerfully blocking his path. You're coming home with me tonight. What? Liam's eyes bulged. Are you insane? I'm not insane, Izzy said, pulling a photograph from her pajama pocket. Here, take a look at this. Liam took the photo, and his face went pale. In the picture, he was lurking suspiciously outside the women's restroom, looking for all the world like a total creep. Where? Where did you get this? You were looking for Snowball yesterday, weren't you? Isabel smiled. Your roommate's cat ran into the women's restroom, and you waiting outside for him looked really shady. It all came rushing back to him. His roommate's fluffy white cat had darted into the girls' bathroom in the library, and he'd had to wait awkwardly outside, earning more than a few weird looks from passersby. That was a misunderstanding. I know, Isabel said, taking the photo back. But nobody else does. Can you imagine what everyone would think if I posted this on the campus subreddit? A cold dread washed over Liam. With Isabel's influence on campus, a photo like that going viral would be the end of his social life. He'd be a pariah. What? What do you want from me? It's simple, Isabel cooed, leaning in to whisper in his ear. Be my boyfriend. Not a chance. Liam shot back without a second thought. Is that so? Isabel took out her phone. Well, I guess I'll just post this now. Wait. Liam lunged to stop her. This is blackmail. Blackmail? Isabel put on a wounded expression. I'm just a girl, trying to be with the guy I like. Like? Are you sure you even like me? Liam felt like his entire worldview was cracking. We're not a good match at all. What do you mean, not a good match? She began ticking off points on her fingers earnestly. You're handsome. I'm beautiful. You're a great gamer. I'm a great cook. You're a homebody, and I'm a homebody. It's a perfect fit. That's not the point. The point is... The point is what? The point is you're terrifying. Liam finally blurted out. Isabel froze for a second, then burst out laughing. Terrifying? What's so terrifying about me? In elementary school, you stole the shoes of every girl who talked to me. In middle school, you planted a fake love note in my desk, and then told the teacher. And in high school... Oh, come on, that was just childish stuff, Isabel said, sticking her tongue out playfully. I'm more mature now. I know how to handle things in a more civilized way. You call blackmail civilized? It's not blackmail, Isabel declared with unwavering confidence. It's a love letter. Liam was speechless. Was there a more twisted definition of a love letter on the planet? Look, I'm not going to do it, he said, making one last stand. Okay, then. Isabel sighed dramatically, holding up her phone. 5, 4, 3. Wait, fine. Liam threw his hands up in surrender. Can I just think about it? Nope, she said, shaking her head. This is a one-time offer. Either you say yes right now, or... She mimed tapping the post button. Liam stared at her angelic, innocent face and felt a wave of utter despair. This girl looked like an angel, but her mind was pure evil. Time's running out, Isabel chirped. Okay, I'll do it, Liam said through gritted teeth. But we need to set some ground rules. Ground rules? Isabel's eyes lit up. Ooh, that sounds fun. Go on. First, you can't interfere with my normal social life. Second, you can't spy on me. And third what? Third, you can't hurt my friends or my family. Isabel tilted her head, pretending to think it over. The first two are negotiable, but the third one. What about the third one? Liam asked, his heart pounding. I agreed to the third one, she said with a dazzlingly sweet smile. I'm not a monster, after all. Why would I ever hurt innocent people? For some reason, Liam had a very strong feeling there was a hidden meaning in her words. So, does this mean we're boyfriend and girlfriend now? He asked hesitantly. Of course. Isabel looked so happy she could have bounced off the walls. From this moment on, you're exclusively my boyfriend. The word exclusively sent another chill down his spine. Okay, so can I go home now? We can. Start this tomorrow. No way, Isabel said, shaking her head like a bobblehead. We're a couple now. Obviously, we have to live together. Live together? Liam's voice cracked, jumping an octave. We just started dating. Don't you think that's moving a little fast? What's fast about it? She said, as if it were the most logical thing in the world. My parents are on a trip to Europe, so I'm all alone in my big apartment. It's so lonely. You wouldn't make your new girlfriend stay all by herself, would you? But what? That dangerous glint returned to her eyes. Are you trying to back out already? The image of that photo flashed in his mind. Liam folded. No. I just think this is all happening too fast. It's not fast at all, she said, grabbing his hand. We've known each other since we were kids. That's a 10-year foundation. Isn't that enough? Well, come on. I'll make you a late-night snack, she said, pulling him into the complex without waiting for an answer. As she dragged him along, Liam's mind was a chaotic mess. On one hand, he had to admit he was physically attracted to her. He was a healthy college-age guy, after all. On the other hand, her sweet but psycho vibe terrified him. So, what do you like to eat? She asked as they walked. Whatever's fine, he answered, his mind elsewhere. Whatever. Okay, I'll just make you my specialty then. What's your specialty? A homemade meal. Made with love, she said, turning back to flash him a radiant smile. I guarantee, once you taste it, you'll never want to eat anything else again. Somehow, that sounded less like a promise and more like a threat. Isabel's place was a pristine 2-bedroom apartment, decorated in what could only be described as an explosion of pink. The moment Liam walked in, he was blinded by the sheer amount of rosy decor. What do you think? Do you like it? She asked, watching him with anticipation. It's very cute, Liam said, lying through his teeth. It looked like the inside of a Barbie dream house. I knew you'd love it. She clapped happily. From now on, this is our little love nest. Love nest. The phrase made his skin crawl. You go ahead and sit down. I'll get started on that snack, she said, pushing him onto the couch before skipping into the kitchen. Liam sat on the plush pink sofa, surrounded by dolls and pastel decorations, feeling like he'd stepped into an alternate dimension. His eyes drifted to the TV console, where several picture frames were displayed. He walked over for a closer look and nearly had a heart attack. They were all photos of him. There was a candid shot of his profile in class, a picture of his back as he read in the library, a stealth photo of him eating in the dining hall, and even one of him asleep in his dorm room. When did you take these? He asked, his voice trembling. Oh, you found them, Isabel chirped, popping her head out of the kitchen. They came out pretty good, don't you think? When did you take them? Since freshman year, she said nonchalantly. I try to get a few new ones every day. I think I have a few thousand by now. A few thousand. The room started to spin. This is stalking. Stalking, she pouted. It's not stalking. It's documenting the beautiful moments of the one I love. We weren't a couple until 10 minutes ago. But in my heart, we've always been a couple, she retorted, as if that settled everything. Liam had no response. The girl's logic was a fortress, utterly impenetrable. Oh, and by the way, these are just the highlights, she continued. I have a special hard drive with over 10,000 more. 10,000. Liam seriously considered calling the police. Don't freak out. The food's ready, she said, emerging with a tray. On it was a steaming bowl of noodles topped with a fried egg, ham, and green vegetables. It looked and smelled incredible. Most importantly, the fried egg was shaped like a heart. Go on, try it, she urged, her eyes sparkling. Liam was genuinely hungry, and the aroma was irresistible. He cautiously took a bite. Well, it's actually really good, he had to admit. Isabel's cooking was top-notch. Really, she beamed like a child who'd just been praised. Then eat up. Liam focused on his noodles, tried to ignore her intense, unblinking stare. Liam, yeah. What do you think of me? What do you mean? As a girlfriend, she clarified, propping her chin on her hands. I'm pretty, I can cook, I'm a good caretaker, and I'm totally in love with you. Am I not perfect? Well, Liam didn't know how to answer. Honestly, if you ignored the obsessive, borderline criminal personality, she really was the perfect girlfriend. If you don't answer, I'll take that as a yes, she chirped, her smile widening. After he finished, Isabel cleared the dishes and then sat down next to him on the couch. It's getting late. We should probably get to sleep. Sleep? Liam tensed up. I could just take the couch. The couch. She tilted her head. Why would you sleep on the couch? Because we don't know each other that well. But we're a couple, she stated plainly. And couples sleep together. But, no buts, she said, standing up and pulling him by the hand. Come on, I'll show you our bedroom. Our bedroom. There was that terrifying phrasing again. Isabel's bedroom was even pinker than the living room. Pink walls, pink curtains, pink bedsheets. Liam was starting to develop a phobia of the color. Isn't it cozy? She asked, clearly pleased with his stunned expression. Very. Cozy, he managed to choke out. I already got pajamas for you, she said, pulling a pink set out of her closet. Go take a shower. Aren't those for women? Liam asked, eyeing the clearly feminine design. It's a matching couple's set, she explained. Isn't it adorable that we'll be wearing the same thing? Liam wanted to refuse, but the dangerous glint in her eyes told him it was a battle he wouldn't win. After his shower, he stood in front of the mirror wearing the pink pajamas and felt his masculinity wither and die. Ah, you look so cute. Isabel squealed when she saw him, her eyes sparkling. I knew pink was your color. I think we need to talk, Liam said, attempting to salvage a shred of his dignity. Talk about what? Isabel had already changed into her matching set, and they looked like a pair of life-size dolls. About our relationship. Our relationship is perfectly clear, she interrupted. You're my boyfriend, and I'm your girlfriend. But, okay, she said, pushing him toward the bed. It's late. Let's just get some sleep. Wait, I really am fine on the couch. No. Isabel's tone suddenly dropped, becoming cold and sharp. If you don't want to sleep in the same bed as me, does that mean you don't like me? That's not what I meant. Then that's exactly what you meant. Her eyes welled up with tears. I knew it. You still don't accept me. Seeing her look so genuinely hurt, Liam's resolve crumbled. 10. After all, apart from the whole psycho-stalker thing, Isabel was an undeniably cute girl. Okay, he sighed, but we need to keep our distance. Of course. Her sunny disposition returned instantly. We're just sleeping, totally innocent. However, as Liam lay stiffly in bed, he quickly discovered that Isabel's definition of keeping our distance was very different from his. What are you doing? He asked as she pressed up against him. Sleeping, she said, wrapping her arms around his arm as if it were the most natural thing in the world. I've always had to hug something to fall asleep, then hug a pillow. Why would I hug a fake pillow when I have a real, human one right here? She murmured, nuzzling against his arm. You're so warm. Liam could feel the warmth and scent of the girl beside him, and his heart began to pound against his ribs. He had to admit the feeling was surprisingly nice. Liam, she whispered in his ear. Yeah. Do you know why I like you? Why? Because you're gentle, she said, her voice soft and sweet. Even when you say no, You never try to really hurt my feelings. Liam froze. She was right. Even at his most frustrated, he had never said anything truly cruel to her. And she continued, you always go soft when I look sad. That must mean you like me back a little, right? Liam wanted to argue, but the words wouldn't come. It's okay, she chuckled softly. We'll take it slow. I have all the time in the world to wait for you to fall completely in love with me. Listening to her confident words, a strange thought entered Liam's mind. Maybe being liked by a girl like this wasn't so bad after all. 11. The next morning, Liam woke up to the smell of cooking. He opened his eyes and saw that Isabel was already gone from the bed. He could hear clattering sounds coming from the kitchen. A glance at the clock showed it was only 6:30 a.m. How is she up so early? Liam, you're awake. Her voice called from the kitchen. Breakfast is ready. Liam got dressed and walked into the kitchen to see Isabel bustling around in a cute apron. Good morning, she said, turning to give him a sweet smile. Did you sleep well? Yeah, I did, Liam said, feeling a little awkward. To be honest, sleeping while holding a soft, fragrant girl was more comfortable than he'd ever admit. I made your favorite, fried eggs, she announced, holding up a plate. And coffee. The breakfast spread on the table was exquisite. Everything was prepared with obvious care. Liam had to admit, Isabel was an amazing homemaker. How did you know I liked my eggs this wet? He asked as he ate. I've been watching you for a long time, she said matter-of-factly. It's what you order most often in the dining hall, and you always finish the eggs first. Watching. There was that creepy word again. 12. By the way, it's the weekend. Do you have any plans? Isabel asked. I was going to play games in my dorm. Liam trailed off as a thought hit him. Wait, my textbooks and clothes are all in my dorm. I have to go back and get them. Oh, don't worry about that, she said with a wave of her hand. I had someone pick them up for you last night. What? Liam stared at her. How did you get into my dorm room? I have your roommate's number, she said with a wink. I just told them I was your girlfriend and needed to grab some of your stuff. They were totally cool with it. Liam thought of his gossipy roommates and cringed. The entire dorm building probably knew he was off the market by now. You really shouldn't have done that. Why not? She tilted her head. It's perfectly normal for a girlfriend to get things for her boyfriend. But you should have asked me first. If I'd asked, you would have said no, she stated, her logic unshakable. So I just did it myself. The end result is good, right? Liam was speechless. The way her mind worked was a complete mystery. Oh, and your roommates asked me to tell you something, she added. What? They said, and I quote, Liam, you lucky son of a bitch, you'd better not ditch us now that you have a girlfriend. You owe us dinner, she said, imitating a gruff voice. Liam's face darkened. That sounded exactly like his friends. Also, she continued, they said you're usually such a loner in the dorm. They had no idea you were so good with girls and that they wanted to learn from you. What else did they say? Liam had a sinking feeling. They asked if I fell for you because of your gaming skills, she giggled. I told them it was because of your amazing personality. Liam covered his face with his hands. He could already picture the look on his roommates' faces when they heard that. 13. Anyway, since it's the weekend, let's go on a date. Isabel suggested brightly. A date? Yeah, couples are supposed to go on lots of dates, she said excitedly. I've already got it all planned out. First, we'll go shopping for clothes, then we'll see a movie, and then we'll go to the amusement park. Whoa, hold on, Liam interrupted. Isn't that a bit much for one day? Not at all, she said, counting on her fingers. This is a totally standard date itinerary. But I don't really like crowded places. Then we'll go when there are fewer people, she said, instantly finding a solution. We have the whole day to ourselves, after all. Looking at her hopeful, expectant eyes, Liam didn't have the heart to say no. All right. Yay, she cheered, jumping up. I'll go get changed. Just wait for me. Half an hour later, Isabel emerged in an adorable sundress, wearing light makeup. She looked like a character straight out of comic book. What do you think? She asked, doing a little spin. You look beautiful, Liam admitted. It was the simple truth. Then let's go, she said, linking her arm through his. 14. Walking down the street, they turned a lot of heads. Isabel was already known as a campus beauty, and while Liam didn't usually pay much attention to his appearance, he was objectively handsome. A lot of people are looking at us, Isabel whispered. It's probably because you're so beautiful, Liam said honestly. Really? Her eyes lit up. Doesn't that make you feel proud? Proud of what? Having such a gorgeous girlfriend, of course, she said with a smug little smile. Liam thought about it. Yeah, having a girlfriend like her was definitely something to be proud of. Okay, first stop, shopping, she announced, pulling him into a clothing store. I don't need any new clothes. Liam started to protest, but Isabel had already pushed him into a fitting room. Just try this on, she said, shoving an outfit into his hands. Trust my taste. 10 minutes later, Liam walked out in the new clothes. Wow, Isabel breathed, her eyes shining. I knew it. My taste is impeccable. He had to admit, the person in the mirror looked a lot better than usual. The clothes Isabel had picked suited his style perfectly. We'll take this, she said to the sales clerk. Wait, I didn't say I was buying it. You don't have to, she waved him off. It's my treat. It's only natural for a girlfriend to buy her boyfriend clothes. When she paid, Liam saw the price tag and nearly choked. The outfit cost more than his food budget for an entire month. This is way too expensive. I can't accept it. Of course you can, she said sweetly. Think of it as a present for our first date. A present. A present to celebrate us officially being a couple, she said, as if it were obvious. Liam wanted to refuse, but her expectant gaze made him cave once again. 16. Next up was the movie. Isabel chose a romance, and they sat together in the dark theater. Liam, she whispered. Yeah, should we be like the couple in the movie? What do you mean? You know. Quiche. Her voice was shy. Liam almost choked on his popcorn. We're in a public place. What about when we get home? She pressed. When we get home. We'll see, Liam said, his face flushing. So, is that a yes? She asked excitedly. Liam didn't know what to say and quickly turned his attention back to the screen. But Isabel wasn't going to let him off that easily. For the rest of the movie, she whispered a constant stream of sweet nothings in his ear. Liam, look how gentle the hero is with her. Liam, the heroine is so lucky to have someone love her that much. Liam, would you protect me like he protects her? By the end, Liam was so flustered he had no idea what the movie had even been about. After the movie, they went to the amusement park. I want to ride that, Isabel said, pointing at the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel? Liam looked at the massive structure. You're not afraid of heights? Nope, she said, pulling him toward it. Besides, there's a legend that if a couple kisses at the very top, they'll stay together forever. That's just a legend, Liam tried to argue, but it was too late. Sitting in the cabin as it climbed higher and higher, Liam's heart pounded in his chest. He wasn't sure if it was from the height or the girl sitting next to him. It's so beautiful, Isabel said, gazing out the window. The setting sun bathed the entire city in a golden glow. Her profile, illuminated by the light, was breathtakingly lovely. Liam, she said, suddenly turning to him. Yeah. Do you think we'll be together forever? Well, Liam hesitated. You're not sure. A flicker of disappointment crossed her face. It's not that, he explained hastily. It's just that forever is a really heavy word. Heavy, she tilted her head. I think it's the lightest word in the world. Being with the person you love is the easiest thing there is. Do you really love me? Liam couldn't help but ask. Of course, she answered without a moment's hesitation. I've loved you since the first time I saw you in elementary school. Why? Does there have to be a why? She laughed. Liking someone is just liking them. It's like how you like video games. You don't need a reason. But our personalities are so different. Who says? She challenged. I think we're a great match. You're introverted. I'm extroverted. You're logical. I'm emotional. You're calm. I'm passionate. We complement each other. Liam thought about it. She actually had a point. Besides, she went on, we have the same hobbies. You like staying home. I like staying home. You like quiet, and I'm always quiet around you. You like a simple life, and I hate complicated things. You're quiet around me. Liam looked at her skeptically. Of course, she said defensively. I talk a lot around other people, but when I'm with you, I get all quiet. You're talking a lot right now. Well, yeah, we're on a date, she said, sticking her tongue out. You suppose to talk a lot on a date. When the Ferris wheel reached the very top, Isabel suddenly leaned in close. Liam, what is it? He asked, shrinking back nervously. Time to kiss, she said simply. The legend says we have to kiss at the top, right? I'm not mentally prepared for this. What's there to prepare for? She continued to move closer. It's just mouth on mouth. No. It's just... Liam's face was as red as a tomato. Have you never kissed anyone before? Isabel asked suddenly. That's... Liam was mortified. Haha, I knew it. She laughed delighted. It's okay, I'll teach you. No, thanks, he said, waving his hands frantically. Why not? She asked confused. We're a couple. Kissing is normal. But... Liam scrambled for an excuse, but came up empty. No buts, she giggled, then quickly leaned in and planted a soft kiss on his cheek. That. Liam was stunned. Just the cheek for now, she said with a triumphant smile. We'll save the real thing for when you're ready. Liam touched the spot on his cheek where she'd kissed him. His heart felt like it was going to beat its way out of his chest. By the time they got home from the amusement park, it was already 9 o'clock. Did you have fun today? Isabel asked as she took off her shoes. It was okay, Liam had to admit. The day had been far more enjoyable than he'd expected. I knew you'd have fun, she said proudly. We're a good match, right? Yeah, Liam nodded. Then let's go on another date tomorrow, she proposed excitedly. Tomorrow. Liam paused. Tomorrow's Sunday. I was kind of hoping to just relax. Relax? She tilted her head. Isn't being with me relaxing? That's not what I mean, he explained. I just want to spend a quiet day at home. Oh, okay, she said, looking slightly disappointed. Then we'll have a date at home. A date at home? Yeah, she said brightly. We can watch movies, play games, and cook together. It'll be fun. Liam considered it. That actually sounded pretty good. At least he wouldn't have to deal with crowds. So, what game do you want to play? Anything is fine. Her eyes lit up. As long as I'm playing with you. All right, let's play the MMORPG I've been into lately, Liam suggested. Okay, she agreed instantly. I'll make an account. You know how to play? Liam was surprised. In his mind, Isabel wasn't the gaming type. Nope, she said honestly, but you can teach me. It's a pretty complicated game. That's okay, she waved it off. I'm a fast learner. So, Liam started teaching Isabel how to play the game. These are the movement keys. This is the attack button. Got it, she listened intently. And this is the skill bar. You can drag your skills here. Like this, she followed his instructions. Yeah, exactly. You're picking this up really fast. That's because you're the one teaching me, she said with a sweet smile. They played together for hours. Isabel was a total beginner, but she was serious about learning. And she kept asking adorable questions. Liam, why is my character so ugly? That's just the default look. You can get better gear at higher levels. Then why is your character so handsome? Because I've been playing for a while and have good gear. When can I look as cool as you? Just keep leveling up. Then can you help me level up? Sure. 21, and so they spent the evening grinding for experience together. Isabel's skills were clumsy, but she was a great team player and was constantly cheering him on from the sidelines. Liam, you're so good at this. Wow, your skills are amazing. Liam, protect me. Hearing her praise, Liam felt a strange sense of pride. Hey, should we start a guild? Isabel suddenly suggested. A guild. Liam thought about it. Sure, but it would just be the two of us. That's okay, she said excitedly. We can pick a really sweet name. Like what? She thought for a moment. How about Together Forever? That's a little. Liam wanted to say it was cheesy, but seeing the hopeful look in her eyes, he agreed. Okay. Yay, she cheered. We have our own guild now. 22 after playing for 2 hours. Isabel suddenly stood up. I'm going to make you a snack. You don't have to. I'm not hungry. Nonsense. Everyone needs a late-night snack, she said, already on her way to the kitchen. Besides, I want to make something delicious for you. Watching her busy figure, a warm feeling spread through Liam's chest. Having someone take care of him like this. It felt really good. Hey, Liam, she called from the kitchen. Yeah. What do you think about us? What do you mean? I mean, are we a real couple now? Her voice was laced with a hint of uncertainty. Liam paused. After the last 2 days, his feelings for Isabel had changed dramatically. I think. It's been pretty nice, he said honestly. Really? She popped her head out of the kitchen, her eyes shining. Really, he nodded. You're a lot easier to be around than I thought. So, does that mean you're starting to like me? She asked hopefully. Well, Liam hesitated. It would be a lie to say he didn't like her, but felt too soon to say he was completely sold. It's okay, she smiled. We can take it slow. I can wait. Her smile was gentle, without a trace of pressure. It made Liam think that maybe his initial judgment of her had been too harsh. The snack was simple noodle soup, but it was delicious. Isabel sat across from him, resting her chin on her hands as she watched him eat. Is it good? Yeah, it's really good, he nodded. Then I'll make it for you every day, she said happily. Won't you get tired? He asked, a genuine note of concern in his voice. Never, she shook her head. Doing things for the person you love is never tiring. But you have to take care of yourself, too. Are you worried about me? Her eyes widened. Of course I am, Liam said, the words coming out naturally. We're a couple. 22, it was the first time he had actively acknowledged their relationship. Yes, Isabel was so happy she nearly jumped out of her chair. You finally admitted we're a couple. When did I not admit it? He asked, confused. You always just said we. You never said a couple, she pointed out. This is the first time. Liam thought back and realized she was right. So, are we officially a couple now? Of course, she nodded enthusiastically. Starting today, you are officially my boyfriend. And you're officially my girlfriend, Liam added. MHM, she beamed. And we have to be together forever. Forever? Liam asked. How long is forever? Eternity, she said with a serious expression. I want to be with you for eternity. Eternity. Liam repeated the word, a strange feeling bubbling up inside him. You don't want to? She asked, a flicker of anxiety in her eyes. It's not that, he said, thinking. It just feels unreal. What's unreal about it? We've only known each other for 2 days. Or I guess re-known each other. Isn't it too soon to be talking about forever? Is it? She tilted her head. I don't think it's fast at all. I've been in love with you for 10 years. 10 years. Liam was stunned. You've really liked me for 10 years? Of course, she nodded. Ever since I first saw you in elementary school. We were 9 years old. So, she said matter-of-factly, you can't fall in love at 9, but a crush at 9 is different from love now. It's the same for me, she said earnestly. My feelings for you have never changed. Liam looked into her sincere eyes and felt a wave of emotion. 23 to have someone love you so persistently for a decade. It was an incredibly fortunate thing. Okay, let's give it a try, Liam said. Try what? Let's try being together forever, Liam said, a faint blush on his cheeks. Really? Isabel shot up from her chair in excitement. Really, he nodded. If you've really loved me for 10 years, then I should give you a chance. Give us a chance. This is amazing. Isabel was so happy, she ran a lap around the table before rushing over and throwing her arms around him. Liam, I'm so happy, she whispered in his ear. Me too, Liam said, feeling a little awkward but not pushing her away. So, can we kiss now? She asked hopefully. Well, he blushed. You don't want to? She looked disappointed. It's not that, he stammered. It's just, I don't have any experience. That's okay, she smiled. I don't either. We can learn together. Learn together? Yep, she nodded. Couples are supposed to learn all sorts of things together. Liam looked at her face, just inches from his, and his heart hammered against his ribs. So, should we try? He asked in a small voice. Mitchum, she hummed softly, then slowly leaned in. Their lips touched gently, a light, fleeting press before they pulled apart. Like that? She asked. I think so. Liam's face was on fire. Should we try again? She suggested. Oh, okay. 24, the second kiss lasted a little longer than the first, but it was just as innocent. Liam, Isabel whispered against his ear. Yeah. I love you. Liam wanted to say it back, but the words got stuck in his throat. It's okay, she smiled. You can say it when you're ready. Thank you for being so patient, he said gratefully. For what? She shook her head. Loving someone is supposed to take patience. That night, they slept soundly in each other's arms. Liam dreamed of a bright future, filled with happy moments with Isabel. 25 over the next few days, Liam experienced what it truly meant to be surrounded by love. Isabel woke up at 6 every morning to make him breakfast, waited for him to come home so they could have dinner together, and spent weekends either gaming with him or going on dates. She treated taking care of him like a full-time job. Liam, what do you want for dinner tonight? Liam, I already did your laundry. Liam, I packed your backpack for you. Liam, it's going to rain later. Don't forget your umbrella. At first, Liam felt like he was living in a dream. To have someone care for him so completely was an incredible feeling. But slowly, a sense of unease began to creep in. Izzy, you don't have to pack me a lunch every single day, he said, looking at the elaborate bento box in her hands. Why not? She asked, confused. The food on campus is unhealthy and gross. But it must be exhausting for you to do this all the time. Not at all. She shook her head. I love doing it. But you have your own life to live. My life is taking care of you, she said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. What other life could I possibly need? The words were sweet, but something about them felt wrong to Liam. Don't you have any other hobbies? He asked. I do, she nodded. My hobbies are watching you, learning about you, and taking care of you. I mean, hobbies that don't involve me. That don't involve you? She thought for a moment. Nope. None. Liam was taken aback. What about all those friends you used to have? Friends? She tilted her head. Oh, you mean those girls? We weren't really friends. But I always saw you hanging out with them. That was just being polite, she interrupted. I was never interested in them. Then what are you interested in? I'm interested in you, she smiled. You're my greatest interest. 26, a seed of anxiety began to grow in Liam's mind. Was it healthy for one person to make another their entire world? Izzy, I think you should have your own friends. I have you. That's all I need, she shook her head. Friends are too much trouble. But, besides, her tone suddenly shifted, becoming dangerous. Are you saying I'm being too clingy? No, Liam denied it quickly. I just think you deserve to have your own space. I don't need space, she said earnestly. I just need you. But that's not fair to you. Not fair. She blinked. It feels perfectly fair to me. I have everything I've ever wanted. But you've lost so much. Like what? Like friends, like freedom, like... None of that matters to me, she cut him off. Only you matter. Liam didn't know what to say. 27 logically, he knew Isabel's behavior was a form of extreme codependence. But emotionally, it was hard to argue with the feeling of being loved so completely. Liam, she said, suddenly leaning close. Yeah. Do you think I'm weird? No. Liar, she chuckled softly. I can tell. You think I'm too clingy. It's okay, she said, gently stroking his cheek. I know you're not totally used to it yet. We'll get there. Izzy. Yeah. Are you truly happy? Liam asked, his voice serious. Living like this. Does it really make you happy? Of course it does, she answered without hesitation. Being with you is the greatest happiness I could ever imagine. But, no buts, she said, placing a soft kiss on his lips. You are my entire world. My entire world. The phrase stirred a complex mix of emotions in Liam's heart. That night, Liam lay in bed, thinking for a long time. There was no doubt that Isabel loved him, but was her love too intense? Liam, Isabel whispered beside him. Yeah. What are you thinking about? Nothing. Liar, she turned to face him. You're thinking about how weird I am, aren't you? No. Yes, you are, she said with certainty. I can always tell. Izzy. I know I'm not like other girls, she said softly. I'm a little more extreme. Extreme? Yeah, she nodded. When other girls like someone, they might tell their friends they still have their own lives. But I don't. Why not? Because that's not pure enough, she said earnestly. If you truly love someone, they should be your everything. But that sounds exhausting. It's not, she shook her head. How could loving someone be exhausting? What's exhausting is pretending to love someone when you don't. But you're putting a lot of pressure on me, Liam admitted. Pressure? She looked confused. What kind of pressure? I'm afraid I can't live up to your love, he said. You do so much for me and you what? And my feelings for you aren't that deep yet. He finally forced the words out. Isabel was quiet for a moment. Then she let out a soft laugh. I know, you know. He looked at her, surprised. Of course I know, she smiled. Feelings take time to grow. It's perfectly normal that you don't love me as much as I love you right now. And that doesn't bother you? Why would it bother me? She tilted her head. I love you. That's my choice. You slowly falling in love with me. That's just the natural process. What if I never love you as much as you love me? Liam asked, voicing his deepest fear. You will, she said with absolute certainty. How can you be so sure? Because I know you, she said, stroking his cheek. You're a gentle person, and gentle people can't help but be moved by someone who treats them with genuine love. What if you're wrong? Then I'll just keep loving you, she said, her voice light, until you fall in love with me. And if I never do, then I'll just love you for my whole life, she answered without a trace of hesitation. 28 Liam was floored by her words. The girl's devotion to her idea of love was beyond anything he could comprehend. Izzy, yeah. Don't you think that's unfair? Unfair, she thought about it. How is it unfair? You give so much and Love was never meant to be fair, she interrupted. Someone always loves a little more, and someone always loves a little less. That's normal. But, no buts, she said, kissing his forehead. I'm choosing to love you more. That's my decision. You really don't have any regrets? Regret what? She asked. I feel lucky that I get to love someone this much for this long, even if he can't give you the same in return. Love isn't a transaction, she said seriously. I don't love you to get something back from you. Then why do you do it? For the sake of love itself, she smiled. It's like how a flower blooms. It doesn't bloom to be praised. It blooms because that's what it is. 29 Liam looked in her clear, unwavering eyes and felt a profound sense of awe. Maybe this was what real love looked like. Izzy, yeah. Thank you. For what? For loving me like this, he said earnestly. I'll try my best. Try your best at what? To love you back. You don't have to try, she shook her head. Love is supposed to happen naturally. Just be yourself. Be myself. Yeah, she nodded. The person I love is the real you. You don't need to pretend or force anything. What if the real me disappoints you? You won't, she said with certainty. The real you is already the person I love. 30 a month passed, and Liam grew accustomed to having Isabel in his life. Her constant care, her clinginess, and even her occasional psycho-sweet moments had become a normal part of his routine. While he sometimes felt smothered, one look into her sparkling eyes was all it took for his resolve to melt. One rainy afternoon, Liam came home from class to find the apartment strangely quiet. Izzy, he called out. No answer. There was a note on the dining table. Feeling a little feverish, went to the campus clinic. Don't worry. Liam's heart dropped. The Isabel he knew was a whirlwind of energy. How could she suddenly be sick? He grabbed an umbrella and ran out the door. In a small infirmary room, Isabel was propped up against some pillows, her face pale. She was scrolling through her phone. What are you doing here? She asked, her eyes lighting up when she saw him, though she quickly looked down again. It's just a little cold. Liam walked closer and saw that her phone screen was filled with pictures of him, specifically a set of photos she'd secretly taken of him napping in the library. You're sick and you're still looking at these? He frowned. I missed you, she mumbled, her voice hoarse from the fever. Liam sighed and placed a hand on her forehead. It was burning up. Did you take any medicine? Yeah. Did you drink any water? Don't want to. Too bad. His tone was uncharacteristically firm. He poured a cup of lukewarm water and held it out to her. Drink it. Isabel blinked, and then a slow smile spread across her face. Liam, are you worried about me? Of course I am, you idiot, he said. You're always taking care of everyone else. How can you not even take care of yourself? She held the cup in her hands, her voice small. Because taking care of you is more important. Liam froze. She always did that, put him first to the point of completely neglecting herself. He sat down on the edge of the bed and was silent for a moment before speaking. Izzy, we need to talk. Okay, she said, tilting her head. Can you please be a little nicer to yourself? I'm being nice to myself, she smiled weakly. I have you. I'm the happiest girl in the world. That's not what I mean. Liam took a deep breath. I mean, can you please not put every single ounce of your energy into me? You should have your own life, your own friends, your own hobbies. Isabel's smile slowly faded. Are you getting tired of me? No, Liam quickly denied. I'm worried about you. She looked down, fidgeting with the corner of her blanket. But this is what I like. I like watching you and taking care of you and being with you. But when you get sick or when you're sad, it hurts me too, Liam said softly. I don't want you to neglect yourself just for my sake. Isabel looked up, her eyes glistening. You'd really feel bad for me? Of course, he gave a small, tired smile. You're my girlfriend. She stared at him for a few seconds, then launched herself forward and wrapped her arms around him, burying her face in his shoulder. Liam, her voice was muffled. I think I love you even more now. He gently stroked her hair. You're an idiot. 31 from that day on, it seemed like something in Isabel had genuinely shifted. She was still clingy, but she no longer followed him everywhere. She still packed him lunches, but she also started going out shopping with friends. She still secretly took photos of him, but not with the same obsessive frequency. And Liam, in turn, gradually learned how to return her affection. One weekend evening, they were sitting on the balcony, watching the sunset. Isabel was leaning against his shoulder. Liam, do you remember our first kiss? She asked suddenly. On the Ferris wheel? MHM, she smiled. Your hands were shaking. You were so nervous. That's because you ambushed me. And what about now? She tilted her head up, her eyes sparkling. Are you still nervous? Liam looked at her, then leaned down and captured her lips with his. This time, there was no hesitation, no pulling away. Isabel was surprised for a second, then closed her eyes and wrapped her arms around his neck. The last rays of sunset bathed them in a warm, quiet glow. After a long moment, Liam pulled back. Izzy, he said softly, let's get married. Isabel's eyes flew open. What? I said, let's get married, he repeated, looking at her with complete sincerity. Not because you blackmailed me, and not because I'm used to you, but because I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Tears instantly welled in her eyes. Are you serious? I am, he said, gently wiping a tear from her cheek. But you have to promise me one thing. No more secret photos. No way. She immediately shot back. A husband this handsome? I have to document it. It would be a waste not to. Liam shook his head with a helpless smile, pulling her into a tighter embrace. He knew their future would still have its arguments, and she would probably still get jealous and act selfishly from time to time. But he didn't care anymore, because that was Isabel, and he was in love with her.